right. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we're going to give all praises to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bahashem,
Bahashem,
Yahweh Shai,
Yahushai,
Bahashem,
Bahashem
Wakakadash.
Akakadash.
Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to Allah Akim, who did us doing the work with sincerity and charity, with humiliation, all across the four winds. To you I salute. All right, so today we're going to get into a brief lesson, a brief breakdown or understanding of the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3, verse 9. All right. Now, I saw a couple of brothers, made an attempt to, go into it and break it down, but then they end up coming back and taking it down. All right. But in this lesson, I want to focus on the pure language. All right. Yes, we break it down by the pure language being, the Hebrews. All right. But in this lesson, we're going to see exactly, what a pure language is. All right. So, brother, you can get the book of Zephaniah 3, verse 9.
All right, this is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3 and 9. But then will I turn to the people a pure language, that they may all call upon the name of Yahweh to serve him with one consent.
Done.
God's one.
Done.
Yahweh Shemir Shai Barakatah.
Shalom, Yahweh. Right, the Lord will return unto the people a pure language. Right? Now, like I said, we used to break this down, saying that the pure language is talking about or speaking about in the pure Lashawan Kodash, the Hebrew language. All right. But our people, we be speaking Hebrews, the pure Hebrews in the future. But as it pertains to the passage in the scriptures, I'll show you exactly, what the pure language is speaking about. Which the pure language here that it's speaking about, it's speaking about speaking 100% truth. All right, that is the pure language that is referring to. All right, so let's get the book of Proverbs, brother, chapter 15 and verse 26. All right, the back of this point.
All
right.
This is Proverbs 15 and 26. The thoughts of the wicked are an abomination to Yahweh, but the words of the pure are pleasant words.
Right, words of the pure are pleasant words. And this pureness comes from the heart of a person. All right, and this pureness of heart pleases Yahweh Shem Yoshai. All right, and this is the type of person that the Lord desires to be friends with. Someone that's speaking the 100% truth. All right? Yes, brother.
God. Psalms 37 and 30. The mouth of the righteous speaketh wisdom, and his tongue talketh of judgment.
Yeah. All right. The judgment, where you could find the judgment in the scriptures. All right. So obviously he's speaking the pure words.
And when you read the next verse, it says, the law of his power is in his heart, none of his steps shall slide. Speak a pure language. You have to have pure intent, a pure heart.
Yeah. All right, because he's speaking from the mind.
Okay.
Which this is the mind of the Lord.
Mind of the Lord. Okay.
All right. Like I say, this is a person that desires to be friends with Yahweh Shem Yoshai. So from there, let's get Proverbs 22 and 11.
Proverbs 22 and 11. He that loveth pureness of heart, for the grace of his lips, the king shall be his friend.
Right, so the king will be a friend to them who is of a pure heart.
Right.
All right, and this and the proof of that will be in their lips. All right, the lips of the pure in heart. Their lips or their speech will be rooted, okay, in the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushai.
Okay.
Scripture say, what the priest's lips shall keep knowledge, right?
Okay. And we can see that in scriptures many times over the different men of the Lord who had the ears of the kings. When you think of Samuel, when you think of Daniel, when you think of Moses, all those had when you think of Jonathan, Salakia, all of them had the ear of the king because they spoke righteous words, they spoke right words.
Pure words.
Pure words, God.
Which is a pure language. And these words are tried and proven 7 times over. All right, let's let the scripture speak, right? Let's get Psalm 12 and 6, brother.
Uh, Psalms chapter 12, verse 6. The words of Yahweh are pure words, as silver tried in the furnace of earth, purified 7 times.
Right? The words of the Lord are pure words. And those pure words are speaking about none other than his laws.
Okay.
Okay? Let's jump to chapter 19 and verse 8. All right, to back this up, brother. You go in precept upon precept. All right, through thy precept I get understanding. Therefore I eat every false way, right?
Okay. Purified 7 times. 7 is completion. Purified to completion.
There you go. Tried and proven.
Okay. So Psalms 19 and
8.
8. Psalms 19 and 8. The statutes of Yahweh are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of Yahweh is pure, enlightening the eyes.
Right, the commandments of the Lord Yahweh is pure, right? And those commandments is speaking about what? The truth. Okay? Let's by that point up. 119, Psalms 119 and 151. Right?
Thou art near, O Yahweh, and all thy commandments are true.
You see that? So the commandments of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is both pure and they are truth.
When we jump up to 140, thy word is very pure. Therefore thy servant loveth it.
Right? So the pure language is speaking about what? The
The
truth.
truth.
All right, now let's get an example of a man who turned to the pure language. Okay, so for that we're gonna jump to the book of Isaiah chapter 6. We're gonna read the first 7 verses, brother.
Okay. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 6, starting at verse 1. In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw also Yahweh sitting upon a throne, high and lifted up, and his train filled the temple. Above it stood the seraphims, each one had 6 wings. With twain he covered his face, and with twain he covered his feet, and with twain he did fly. And one cried unto another, and said, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is filled with smoke. Then said I, Woe is me, for I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips, and I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips. For my eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts. Then flew one of the seraphims unto me, having a live coal in his hand, which he had taken with the tongues from off the altar. And he laid it upon my mouth, and said, Lo, this hath touched thy lips, and thine iniquity is taken away, and thy sin purged.
Right. So we see here that the prophet Isaiah was a man of unclean lips, right? Which means he was speaking with a carnal tongue, lies, deceit, all right? But once we see the angel, all right, flew and touched his lip with a live coal from off the altar, right? His sins, which is his lies and deceit, would change from an impure language, all right, and it was taken away. So from that moment on, from that point on, he was speaking what?
Pure language.
The pure language,
Truth.
the truth. You see that? Okay. But let's go back to the book of Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 9. You can read through 13.
It's so interesting, like the similarities. When you purify in gold, heat is used. The purifier is mode, a hot coal was used.
Yeah.
They found that interesting.
Yeah.
The precept you want is
Zephaniah 3 and 9.
Zephaniah 3, right?
You read straight on 13.
Alright, good.
Right, so this is the pure language. In time past, we break this down by speaking the Hebrews, all right, but we following the precepts, so you can't go wrong.
Precept upon precept, line upon line.
Okay.
Zephaniah 3 and 9. For then will I turn to the people a pure language, that they may all call upon the name of Yahweh to serve him with one consent. From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my suppliants upon the daughter of my dispersed shall bring my offering. For then I will take away out of the midst of thee them that rejoice in thy pride, and thou shalt no more be haughty because of my holy mountain. I will also leave in the midst of thee an afflicted and poor people, and they shall trust in the name of Yahweh. The remnant of Israel shall not do iniquity, nor speak lies, neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth. But they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid.
Right, to the remnant of Israel, which we know that's speaking about the elect.
Yeah.
All right. So the elect, all right, will not be speaking lies nor deceit. All right. You see that? Which means they will not speak a corrupt or an impure language because they seek to know Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, all right, which is not the sentiments of our brethren that is in the world.
Okay.
You see? Because the elect are going to speak the pure language, pure words, the words that are tried 7 times. Okay? But now check this, right? Let's get Jeremiah chapter 9, 4 to 6.
Okay.
Let's see what our brethren is, type of language our brethren is going to be speaking. All right.
Jeremiah chapter 9 and 4. Take ye heed every one of his neighbor,
We straight on down to 6, brother.
and trust ye not in any brother. For every brother shall utterly supplant, and every neighbor will walk with slanders. And they will deceive every one his neighbor, and will not speak the truth.
You see that? And will not speak the truth.
They have taught their tongue to speak lies, and weary themselves to commit iniquity. Thy habitation is in the midst of deceit. Through deceit they refuse to know me, said Yahweh.
Right. It said, every brother will utterly supplant and will walk with slanders, deceit, and lies. And in doing so, they will distance themselves from Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai by their speech, which come from where? Their heart. All right. And to pray for discernment so that the Lord will be able to, so that you will be able, to understand the difference between the pure language of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and the impure language of slander, which is lies and deceit, which means we have to be aware. We have to be aware of what is being, said to us and also taught to us. All right, and we have to verify it through the precepts. Okay, and those and that those things are pleasing unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? Because embracing corrupt communication, all right, will cause that'll ultimately cause corrupt communication. Which we were warned about. You see, so we got to be, careful of that.
Okay.
You got something? All right. Let's get Ephesians chapter 4 and 29, brother.
The precept says, keep the doors of your mouth. Be mindful of the things that you let leave your tongue.
Okay. All right.
Ephesians 4.
4 and 29. And the corrupt communication here, it ain't speaking about using obscene language.
The corrupt communication is speaking lies.
There you go.
Ephesians 4 and 29. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers.
Right, so guess what? We ain't supposed to speak or teach corrupt, which is rooted in the carnality of the flesh. Because now you going into how you feel or how you think. You see what I'm saying? Which that comes through anger, wrath, envy, basically the works of the flesh.
Where wisdom is no longer present.
Right? Which that's only going to increase in what? More corruption. More filthy communication, which that brings you what? Closer to Satan. All right? But if you be in the body of Yahushai and walk in truth Guess what? You are dead to those deeds prior to him. Those who come after them with lies, slanders, and deceit. All
Con,
right, and the lips that forge lies through their lying words and deceit. You know, the elect is going to be protected and covered by that or for that. All right. So again, you should have an understanding now what a pure language, is speaking about. Yes,
my love.
all right. So with that, Lord willing, we hope that this lesson was edifying and it served its purpose.
Con,
All right. Shalom.
shalom.